Hello. Today we are going to talk about laws of cosines. Well, yesterday we talked about laws of sines, so it's only appropriate thing to talk about laws of cosines today. Well, your first assignment, which I'm going to write also in the instructions, is going to be to prove the laws of cosines, and you can videotape yourself, or you can just write it out. You can watch videos on YouTube, or well, there's plenty of places where you can find how to do it. But I want you to do it, and I want you to copy this, and I want you to make sure you understand how it works, and write me something about this. Anyway, I will tell you this is the laws of cosines. A squared is equivalent to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of a. B squared is equal to a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of b. And c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c. I want you to notice that those are our angles and those are our sides. I want you to notice how nicely the pattern works. When we are looking for a squared, we will be finding cosine of a, b squared, b, c squared, c. And you are going to use the laws of cosines when you have side case, or when you have side angle side. That means that if in the given triangle either three sides are given or side angle side is given. And for side angle side, the order really matters. So let's see. If I give you an example, and I give you a triangle, this is just example from your textbook, but I'm going to make it a little bit different. If this is 8, if this is 14, and this is 19, quite often you will see a problem and it will look like this, and it will be set to solve it. The very first thing you should do is you should make sure you name this triangle, because it's so much easier to then plug in the numbers. So let's say this is A, let's say this is B, let's say this is C. You need to make sure that you name the sides that correspond to the angle or are across the angle with the same letter. Angle is always the capital letter, the side is always the lowercase letter. If this is B, this is the lowercase b. If this is C, this is the lowercase c. So now when you take those numbers and plug them into the formula, everything is going to be nice and clear. Well, it depends, it's up to you. You can use either one of those, because the only unknown is going to be the angle. So I am going to go with the first one. A squared, which is 14 squared, is going to be equivalent to b squared plus c squared minus 2 times b times c times cosine of a. And again, here you have to be very careful with the order of operation and all the nice work that we need to do. 14 squared is 196, is equivalent to 64 plus 361 minus 304 times cosine of a. Let's see, I'm going to add those two together. And that's 425. It's equivalent to 196. Minus 425 from both sides. that is going to give me negative 229. Divide both sides by negative 304. Zero 0.75. And now, very important, we are looking for the angle. So to find the angle, we are going to use the inverse. So cosine inverse of 0.75 is going to give me the measurement of angle A. Cosine inverse, blue cosine, 0.75. I think my calculator is set on the degree mode from yesterday. So it looks like A is equal to 41.4 degrees. All right, that looks good. And now we have to solve this triangle, so we need to find everything else. So notice A now is 41.4. And I want to find the remaining angles. And what I am going to do is I'm actually going to apply the laws of sines from yesterday. So I am going to say sine of 41.4 divided by 14 is equivalent to sine of, well, let's take angle C divided by 19. 19 times sine of 41.4 is equal to 14 times sine of C. I will divide both sides by 14. And I will input this nicely into the graphing calculator. You can use any calculator for this one. Alpha y equals is equal to 19 times sine of 41.4 divided by 14. That is 0.897 is going to be equivalent to sine of C. And then the same thing, in order to find angle C, I am going to do the inverse. I'm going to copy this number and let's see, 63.83 degrees. And that is my angle C, 63.83. Now, a nice thing, I don't need to apply any other laws after. 180 minus 63.83 minus my other angle was 41.4. And that is equivalent to 74.77, and that is for angle B. So this is how you can use the laws of cosines. We use the laws of cosines because we had all the sides. So in order to find the angle, laws of sines was not helpful. And then once we found this angle, we use the laws of sines. All right, lastly, today we will talk about the Heron's formula. It is a formula that allows us to find the area of a triangle. And it says that area is equivalent to square root of S minus A, S minus B, S minus C, and S is equivalent to half of the perimeter, so A plus B plus C, and A, B, and C are sides of our triangle. So to give you an example, if you have three sides given that A is equal to 43, I'm using the example from the textbook, B is equal to 53, and C is equal to 72. If you have a graphing calculator, or if you have any calculator, take a look how quickly we can solve this problem. I will add 43 plus 53 plus 72. I will divide it by 2, and I know that this is equivalent to my S. And now area is equal to square root of everything. But if you have a graphing calculator, here we go, square root of 84, and then in parentheses, 84 minus 43 times 84 minus 53 times 84 minus 72. Close the parentheses, and the area, well, this I put into the calculator, is equivalent to about 1131.89. I will round it there, and whatever the unit squared we would have. So again, it is very useful if you have 3 sides given and you don't have any angles, you don't want to draw the height, because as you probably recall, the most popular formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Yesterday, applying the laws of sines, we said that we can use the formula 1/2 BC sine of A, which is also equivalent to 1/2 AB sine of C, which is also equivalent to 1/2 AC sine of B. Let's make sure I did not mess this one up. BC goes with angle A, AB goes with angle C, AC goes with angle B. They kind of complement everything. And now we have also the Heron's formula. So that is the square root of S minus A, S minus B, S minus C, where S is equivalent to 1/2 of the perimeter, so A plus B plus C. Here you go, you just learned a new way of how to find the area of a triangle.